Hey,
Understand.
we finally made it. Can you believe it?
I can't hear. If I'm supposed to hear, I can't hear.
You can't hear me. Thank you,
Can't hear
retrograde.
anything.
Okay, let me try one. Wait, 1 second. Okay, guys, we're trying to. Okay, now try it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yay!
All right. So yeah, guys, we tried this back in what, February,
Yeah, February.
and you got really sick at the end of January, I think, or maybe the beginning of February, and then after that, like 5 days after that, is when I fell and broke my femur. So
Yep.
I had to cancel everything. So, and then you had a cold, and it's like, you know what? I'm just laughing because I have had COVID, not as bad as you did. You got COVID and wound up in the operating room
Yep.
or in the hospital. You broke your femur before that. So I'm just trying to play catch up with you, basically.
That's it. Well, I've got a sore throat now, so wait for that. That's coming next.
Holy crow. I'll tell you what, I'm not really a fan of this retrograde at all.
No.
And it's going to be a long one, according to Storm. So I'm just trying to muddle through. Do you feel like you're kind of stuck? Like,
Actually, not right now. I mean, I've had some glitches with this or that, but I have got this big project that I am moving so quick with, quicker than I ever imagined.
did you start it prior to the retrograde?
Um, yes, right before.
Then it's
No,
okay.
wait. Um, no, actually, after.
Well, lucky you. Lucky you. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Okay.
well, well, wait. If I go back to the very beginning of it, it was before. But
Okay.
then I found a new tool after retrograde that has been like phenomenal.
Yeah,
That's
but
helped.
if you start your intent prior to,
Yeah,
you can get through it. Just nothing new to start, right? That's at least that's what Storm tells me all the time.
yeah.
All right, so I want to make a quick hello to everybody that is here watching right now, and I see Margaret. You sent a sticker. Thank you, thank you. Sean and Bex will get hold of that. Hi, David. He's saying hi to you, Cookie Monster. Let's see who else is here. I have Katrina Hayes. Hey, they just wanted to come in and say hi. I just want to make a notice of everybody. Conchetta, hi. How are you? We're not gonna do cards right away, guys. Hi, Teresa. How are you? So yeah, if you guys want to ask us anything in particular, just put it in the stream in the comments, and I'll be happy to do that. Hi, Chloe. How are you? And we'll happily talk about it. But we always kind of find stuff to talk about anyway. So
Yep, we do.
I want to bring up, because so many people are saying it to me, and if I'm honest about it, I kind of feel it, even though I know what's going on. I feel like there's an overwhelming sense of a spiritual war going on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's been going on for a long time. It's escalated now to the point that those people that were asleep on it, they can no longer ignore it. So people are waking up to the truth of what's going on, and more things are being exposed and put out there. And it's to the point where, like I said, it can't be ignored anymore.
Yeah, I find it kind of, well, it's interesting to me because a lot of people that do like what we do um, are feeling a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, for me, I don't want to say it's depression, but it's almost like every time I get up to stand up to do something, I feel like somebody's taking their hand and saying, not yet.
Right.
Not yet. And that's really,
I feel that way in one aspect of my life and not in other aspects. Like where I'm trying to get back because, I had lost all that weight and I was doing so good. I was walking 10 miles a day. And then suddenly, after all that COVID, then the stupid gout, and then the Achilles tendon being torn, all these things, like I keep trying and everything just keeps pushing me back down where I'm not able to get back on track that way. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? And then this project came up. So, and it's moving extremely fast. So I'm like, maybe this is what I'm supposed to concentrate and focus on right now, and not getting back in shape, because that does take a lot of time as well.
Well, back in December, and I think I told you this, I had something happen and my back was really good. And that's what I started to do after the holiday. I was just like, yeah, this is going. And everything was falling into place. And oh, yeah. And then next thing I know, I'm on the floor like a ton of bricks. Like, what just happened? Right. And then I was in the hospital for a week. And I'm like, what just happened? So when I got home, and I'm still healing. The bones all healed, thank God. But you know how the muscles take more time, right? And because you broke yours.
Yeah.
And I was sitting here one day and I got really mad. The kids were up that weekend and they had gone over to see grandma or something. I don't remember. And I got really mad. So I called JC out. I said, hey, I want to ask you a question. I need you here. And he showed up. And I asked him the question. I said, hey, you fixed my back. I'm going, doing. And then you let this happen? Like, what the heck? He said, yep. I said, yep, what? He said, yeah, you still weren't doing what we wanted you to do. I said, so couldn't you have figured out a better way to let me know that? No. And I cussed a little bit at him, and he laughed. And what people don't understand is, like, and I don't know if you believe this or not, but the divine energies, right? They're right. Not talking like they did in 1200s, they're like, as you and I would talk. And he just laughed at me. And he said, there was a purpose for you going to the hospital, and there's a purpose for what we did, and deal with it. So now I'm trying to deal with it, but I'm still feeling like I'm stuck in the muck.
Right.
I'm really having a hard time prying my butt out of it.
Yeah, that is difficult. That's been me on the health aspect. It's like every time I turn around, there's something else going on with me health wise, and I'm like, what is going on? It's just not allowing me, like it's just holding me back from feeling good physically. It's driving me nuts. Like that now I've got this sore throat. Like the boys or Robert, they'll get a sore throat for one day, and then I've got it for 3 weeks.
I don't know. Taylor comes home and she's, of course, 3 hours south from me, and I'm her biggest concern because she can't be there immediately if something happens. She's even telling me, get a life alert. I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but it's just scary. And there's so many people that I'm hearing that do our line of work. We're all hurting ourselves or getting sick or whatever.
Yep.
I didn't tell you this one, and you'll be the first to hear it because I haven't really mentioned it public. Now they're going on me right now from what happened at the hospital that I might be diabetic.
What?
Yeah. So, and I eat really well. There's no history in my family line of diabetes.
So, like, where's that coming from?
I don't know. So I'm on medication. I take 2 pills a day. I'm not taking shots or anything, but it's still something I have to watch and be worried about. And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, like, seriously. And we're not that old. I mean, we're not that old. I mean, 60's the new 50, right?
Right.
For me, anyway. And it's like, I just feel very overwhelmed. And I think a lot of people do. I mean, I don't know. You guys are listening. Are you being overwhelmed? I mean, I just don't know.
Well, and by the way, you have to take into fact that we absorb things more than the average person as well. We absorb those energies a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So maybe we've got to work on doing a lot more grounding, a lot more shielding, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe that'll work. I don't know. I'm trying to. I think I'm doing good, and then stuff like this pops up. By the way, happy Paranormal Day. Apparently, it's a paranormal day around the world. So whatever that means.
Awesome. It's
Yeah,
paranormal day for us every day.
I was gonna say, yeah. I had a laugh. Somebody recently who was at my home said, "Oh my God, do you deal with this on a daily basis?" Because they're, I said, yeah, but I mean, I kind of tune it out. Like my daughter will come home and Tay goes, "God, these birds are so loud," and it's like, really? Because I tune them out, right? So if I don't need them or don't need to hear them, I tune it out. So
Right.
what's going on with you that way? Have you been like since you've been, especially since you were sick as well? Has that kind of knocked it up a notch for you?
Yeah, there's some days where I just like I have to tune as much as possible out because it just like an overload on my system. It's just too much. And then by the end of the day, when I get home, I don't want any noise. I don't want to deal with anything. None of that.
Oh, your mic went out.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I can hear you a little bit. Try it.
There we go. Sorry about
Yep.
that. I was getting a phone call.
That's all right. So
There we
yeah,
go.
it's I do feel very ramped up. They're showing me a lot of things, and I'm not quite sure what to do with some of them. I mean, is that what's going on with you too? Because I mean, everybody.
And another thing is, I've not been able to sleep in weeks. I just don't sleep well at all for weeks now. It's just like, so I wake up tired.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
exhausted.
yeah. I was. I don't. I think it's. Is it like the full moon, or it's close to it, or maybe?
Yeah, the full moon is coming up. I feel like it's this Friday, actually. Hold on, I'll tell you. Give me a second. I want to say it's the 5th.
The moon is just crazy. I just have like the buildup of
Yeah,
it.
the fifth we have, which is what, Friday?
Yeah.
We have a full moon in Scorpio, my sign, and a lunar eclipse on top of it.
You gotta love that.
Oh yeah.
Solar eclipse was the beginning of retrograde.
Right. Right.
So like we're getting pummeled. We're getting pummeled. I can't sleep. I'll be home and I'm awake till like last night. It was after 3:00, like 3:17 was the last time I looked. And it's like, okay, so why even bother laying here? Because I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do. And then, like you said, you get tired and is it like, I don't know if it's like preparing us for something or I can't put my finger on it. I just can't. I don't know. And I don't even know what to make of it. You know what I mean?
It's a lot going on. Well, everything is changing. Everything is switching right now. The Earth itself and all the people on it is like doing a complete 180 and flipping around. So there's a lot of change that's coming, and I think it's all about helping us adapt or learning how to adapt to the changes.
You know, I also look, and when you're saying about the changes, I feel, and I know people call it like the veil, but I feel that the parallel universe, whatever it is closer and it's almost like intertwining, but it's like a weave and then it goes out and a weave and then it goes out.
And I feel like it's almost like one right now. Like there's not even like that is paper thin. You know what I mean? Like it's almost this. Both realms are existing at the same time, and they are intermingled with each other. Plus, we have Pluto that just went into retrograde on the 1st, and that has us looking at how we're dealing with the interchanges of everything happening in the physical world.
That makes sense.
That's going to be in retrograde till October.
Oh, that is like so not fun. Oh my God. Thank you for that. Oh, thank you for that. You hear that? Oh, thank you for that.
It really
Oh,
has us looking at how we're dealing internally with all the physical changes in our lives.
well, that
And
kind of.
that's
Oh,
from
I'm
now
not.
till October.
I'm not dealing well with the changes. I'm just not. I'm just going to be quite frank. I'm not happy about it. I don't know what to do with it. I have no motivation. You know, I yesterday I had a list and I stuck it to the mirror in the bathroom. So when I got up in the morning and showered, I would see it. And these are the few things that I wanted to accomplish. They're not major things, they're little things. Did I do any of them? No.
See,
I
and now I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum at the moment because I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag and tell you because I'm not going to give you all the details. But so right now I have 7 books, 7 that I have written, and now I'm doing the illustrations for. I'm going to release them. They're going to be in series of 5. And the first series, I'm working on the illustrations for the last book.
That's awesome. And writing has been screamed at me as well for years. And every time I've sat down and I figure, oh well, it's like this is a perfect time to do it. Yeah, no. I just can't push through that. And I had my deck, my insight deck with all the angel paintings that I did, and it's almost done, but I'm in the process of, again, like you, writing the book for it, the companion book, and I can't finish it. I sit there and yeah, I'd rather go take a nap. I mean, so yeah, you are in the opposite. So congratulations on
Thanks.
that.
Well,
Awesome.
I mean, to tell you how far on the other side of that spectrum I am is I've done the illustrations for the first 4 books just this week, Monday, Tuesday, today. Today I'm working on book number 5. That's how much I am in that zone, losing my mind, just doing it, doing it, doing it.
That's the way I was prior to breaking my leg. Everything was fast and furious. Everything was falling into place, and then
Yep.
bam.
Yep.
And I can't get back to that place. So we'll
That's
see.
that's hard. That's tough because I've been in that place when, like, when I used to paint all the time, and now I don't paint at all. I would go through for when that's all I did was paint. I would paint and paint and paint, and then suddenly I would stop for months at a time and not do anything.
Well, I started to paint again just before I fell. I got 2 pictures were like rapidly. They were, weren't they? Rapidly. And now I go to pick up. I've got one that I didn't finish that I was halfway through. I can't. And then I'll say, okay, well, I'll pick up a blank one. So I pick up the blank board, and it's like, yeah, no, I
No,
can't.
no, not good. That's the thing. We can't force it, can we?
No, and that's so frustrating.
Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So you're supposed to write the book, but you're not supposed to have it done yet. There's something else that's maybe going to be incorporated or something else to discover, maybe another easier way to do it or something else is in the way, and you've got to get to that next point before you can go fast forward on the book again.
Yeah, I don't even know. I
But in
was
the meantime, you want to pull your hair out.
yeah. Oh yeah. No thanks. It's fallen out already from COVID and all that crap. I've been. I did the Raven Bowls, a series of Raven Bowls, and I actually have 3 more that are sitting there waiting to be glazed. Can't touch them. I cannot touch. And when I say I can't touch them, and for people that are listening in, and I'm sure you're the same way, you're in a mindset and you don't want to put that kind of energy into the work.
Yeah.
So everything's on pause. The only
Yeah.
thing that's not on pause is the toddlers that I have in the house. And they push me every day because their little lives they depend on me. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that keeps me going. And that 18-year-old Siamese, wherever the heck she is now, I don't know. She drives me crazy and follows me all around. And it's just, I just don't know. So I'm just like, I don't know. You know, my daughter calls me up and she says, "What are you doing today?" I go, "Nothing." Same thing, same poop, just another day. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
it's I don't know. I'm
You did hear that your little your white deer, your little white fawn is pregnant again.
really.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I did not know that.
It'll be grandbaby number 7.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's a lot of grandbabies. I don't have one yet. And little blue stars, like, I don't know if I want to go that route, Mom. It's like, okay, well, just maybe one. No. I actually have, which is absolutely amazing because Taylor, when she was growing up, all her friends would come to the house. They'd stay overnight. They'd stay for a week. They'd stay for a couple weeks in the summer, and they all lived around us. So I have a lot of extended children who are now all adults.
Yep.
And Taylor's godson, one of her best friends, and her husband had asked David and Tata to, be godparents for her boy. And they come over about once a month. And they came over 2 weekends ago, just for a couple hours. And I sat there and God bless him. I love Jacob. He's going to be 2 in June.
Oh, Lord.
This child has so much energy. He never stops.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it. And he wasn't getting into anything that I cared. It was fine. But just to watch him, and then they'd have to get up and they'd go run and get him. And they came over too when Dave and Tay were up one weekend. And he was just run. And everybody was going to great. I'm like, just let him go. Just let him run. And that's all he did was run. They left, and I was like, oh my God, I need a nap from just watching him.
Yep.
So there's people that have energy now don't usually have energy. Okay. So that's kind of been thrown at me too in an observation wise.
Yeah.
And a couple other of my friends are struggling with the fact that their abilities or they're open even wider than they were. So they're all like just wiped out. They don't know what to do with themselves. They go, oh my gosh, but they see and hear more, or they understand more.
Yeah.
And they haven't balanced it out again. And how important is balance when you?
Oh, extremely important. Without balance, you just tank out and you're just useless.
Oh, thank you.
Get outside and put your bare feet on the ground. Touch the earth.
It's like 30 degrees. I don't really want to do that.
I mean, even here, I have got at my office crystals. There's some bigger crystals behind me. I've got my Palo Santo in my drawer. I mean, it has to go with me everywhere. Otherwise,
I had to do I saged the house the other day again, and it made it feel a lot better. But like you're saying, like right now, I'm sitting with huge crystals all around me.
Yep.
Same thing. And I set them up in the sun and then in the moon. Like when the full moon comes, they get a whole 24-hour rotation. And something I brought back, as long as you brought up crystals, which I was actually able to find a good friend of mine, and I know you're the crystal queen because you go out and dig your own. I can't physically do that anymore, but I got some green amethyst, right?
Ooh.
And they're very hard to find. Well, when I had my studio in town, I had gone to a mineral, gem rock mineral shows that they have, and I had seen them, and I was like immediately drawn. And there's a lot of people, a lot of exhibits, and the green amethyst points they had made them into pendants, and they didn't come with chains, but I bought all of them because that's what I was instructed to do. And there was about 30 of them.
Oh my goodness.
So I got them all. They were all not huge. They weren't any bigger than this. And like these here, I've got, this one's really thin. They're all different, right? That one's really clear, actually. Yeah. So I would hand them out. They weren't for sale, But every now and then I'd have someone come in and say, be drawn to those, right? Because they were sitting, but they weren't for sale. And I wound up that I would be giving them to people that need healing, right?
Right.
Mind, body, spirit, didn't matter. A lot of cancer patients actually came in and would just sit to talk to me, and I would tell them, come over here, pick the one you want. And they go, oh, we'll pay. No, that's not what this is about. So I used to do it, right? So Carrie Greenaway, who I absolutely adore, she's over in the UK. She is the crystal guru, like worse than you. Like she's got like 2 whole rooms in her house full of crystals that she sells, and she gets new things, and they're just amazing. It's amazing the stuff she's found. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for.
I could never sell any of my crystals. I will give. I have certain ones that I will give away, but if someone even says anything about selling them, I might get what?
Yeah, no, I mean I have my own, right? But when I got in touch with her, the ones I get from her I normally keep, unless somebody's really drawn to one of them.
Yeah.
And I hear let them have it. But I asked her to find the green amethyst points, right?
Yeah.
She says, I haven't seen those in years. I says, yeah, I know. She found me the stones, the gems, the polished stones of them. I said, I need points. They keep telling me I need points. So she found 12 of them for me, right? And I said, they're mine. Don't sell them. They're mine. And I have them charging here in my room because I need it as well right now. But I've also, I think I'm down to 9 now. So I've given 3 away.
Yeah.
And the people that got them were like, they didn't know I was sending them because I sent other stuff with it. And when they opened that and they got a hold of me, it was like, oh my gosh, what is this? There is so much energy in these. And I said, yeah, you have to hold them and you have to carry them and make them yours because they're healing stones.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. And I have them. And again, I'm not selling them, but
I have to stop you a minute because spirit is driving me nuts. There's something about a trip. Are you considering or thinking about going on some trip?
I was, but we canceled it because it was in March.
You're still going to go on this. You're still going on this trip.
Maybe by the end of the year.
Huh?
Probably by the end of the year.
Yeah, before then.
You want me to tell you where it is?
Yeah.
We're supposed to go down. I had it all booked, had it all paid for, down to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I was shown this, and I got a hold of a dear friend of mine. She lives here in Michigan, and she was like, yeah, let's go. And they have a chapel there, and it was built by the Knights Templars. There's 11 of these chapels set, I want to say, in yeah.
You're either going to go on this trip within the next 2 to 3 months, or within the next 2 to 3 months, you'll have it all figured out. You know what I mean? All planned out.
Well, the reason that I was being sent is because of this chapel. Like I said, oh man, my head doesn't want to work. But there's another one over in another country, and they have 11 of them, and they're actually carved out of the rock. They're not built like brick by brick. They're carved, and they're all right next to each other, and they're different sizes, but they're narrow and deep, but they're different sizes and height and what have you. And they were built by the Knights Templar, but the 12th one is here in Santa Fe. Okay. And it's a long story, but how I found it, and then I found it and then found the other rest of the story to it. There is a stairwell that was built in this particular chapel. The chapel was built, and no one knew how to get to the loft, the higher part of it,
right?
Because it was so narrow and steep, and the whole thing. And the story goes that the nuns that were, or the sisters of whoever, were taking care of this chapel. It's not a church. They always call them chapels for whatever reason. And they didn't know how to fix this issue. And a man showed up with a donkey or a mule or whatever and came in to talk to these sisters and said, I will build you the stairwell. You need to allow me to go in. Do not interrupt me. No one is allowed in for 3 days. No food, no nothing. And I will build this for you. So they honored it. And on the 4th day, they went up and went into that. He was gone. The mule was gone. And there's this beautiful spiral staircase to the loft. And it's sound and all that. So what people have done in modern times is they tested the wood because they saw nobody going in and out. Nobody was going in and out of this chapel. And they tested the wood that was used to make the staircase. And it was literally from another country. And this particular tree does not even grow in the United States. So I was guided to go there. And then just prior to me falling, I was told, cancel the trip. You're not going there right now. And then a week later, after I canceled, got all my money back, you know, took care of the train, got all the stuff off the train. I released the bed and breakfast or the Airbnb or whatever it was. That's when I fell. And I was like, wow. So I called my friend who was going to go with me. And I said, you know what? I said, this has been pre-planned. This is why I had to talk with him. This has been pre-planned.
Yep.
Because I couldn't go because this was going to happen. So talking with her again, and another friend of ours, he's supposed to go as well. And it's like, we still have to go. We're just not sure when it's going to fit everybody's calendar right now. So the details, plus I'm not completely healed yet, so I can't do that kind of walking.
2 to 3 months, it'll all be sorted, and either you'll be there or it's completely, the preparations are done for it.
Well, you know me, I'm not a holy roller.
Nope.
I don't go to church because church is the world for me. I'm extremely appreciative of what Creator does.
Yep.
I'm very spiritual. But seeing this side of stuff is kind of been eye-opening and interesting.
Yeah.
And I was also told that the reason, like yourself and I do the work we do, is because people have to have hope. They have to learn to have faith. And they have to be open to allow themselves to heal.
Right. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge because even though there's a lot of people that they're not open to allowing it to even happen. For some people, they are so comfortable in their misery and in their pain. They know what that's like. They know how that feels. They don't know what it's like not to be having that misery or that pain. And that's terrifying to some people.
It's eye-opening because when they showed me that and said it was very clear, you have to allow yourself to heal. And this is what I was told back on Christmas Day. You have to allow it. And I'm like, allow what? I mean, no, you're not allowing it. And that's really a hard bridge to go over when you are so used to, like you said, pain. It gets to a point where it's your normal, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get up in the morning and it's a new normal because you don't have that pain and you have to allow that in. And I told somebody this the other day, I don't remember who it was, but when we get in a place where we're sick, we also, by allowing healing in, we have to allow other people to help us.
Yeah.
Which is a huge thing for some people like us. I would imagine you're kind of, or were, I don't know if you still are, but I would imagine you're kind of the same. Because we're the ones that everybody comes to fix it.
Yeah. Yep.
We're the ones that, can you help me? Can you show me? Can you teach me? Can you, whatever? Can you help me get this straight?
For
That
me,
we
they
don't,
don't even ask, can you? They say, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. I don't have to do that. Thank you.
but it's hard when the shoe goes on the other, because you sit there and you kind of feel alone until you realize, wait a minute, I'm only alone because I'm not letting people in to help me. And
Yep.
it's so hard for so many people
Yep.
to learn that lesson. And I've learned it. Matter of fact, my kids, both Taylor and Brianne, have said when they come up here and they're in the kitchen, I don't care. It's like, we're going to cook this. Okay. Really? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And they go, you mean you're not coming in? No, just do what you want to do.
Yep.
I'll eat it, And they're like, seriously, they're like in shell shock because I never let anybody cook in my house because I used to cook for a living.
Right.
And it's like, yep, time to let them. Paramedics came in the house to get me.
But that's huge. That's major growth for you. That is a huge change. And you just allowing it and sitting back and letting go of those reins is massive progress.
Well, when the paramedics came in the house to get me out, I was on the floor sitting against my nightstand over here. Couldn't stand up because I couldn't put pressure on that leg at all. And they said, okay, we're going to do this and this. I'm like, okay. They said, well, put your arms like this. I said, okay. And, I thought, and it went through my head, don't stiffen up because you're trying to help them. Just relax. So they picked me up and put me on that thing, and they took me out, and it was a seat, and then they laid it down when they got outside. And they go, wow, that was the easiest transport we've ever had. I go, yeah, I'm not fighting it. Just let's go.
Right.
Let's
no
go.
need to fight it.
Go. So you're right, that was a huge lesson for me, and I'm still kind of processing it, although I let them, like, Sin's daughter Brianne, she'll call and she said, do you need anything? Are you okay? And nope, just called to tell you I love you. And they're like, okay, okay, as long as you're good. And they will. My kids and their spouses and whatever, drop of a hat, they're here.
Right.
And I have to remember that I'm 62, not 22, not 32, not even 42. I have to allow people to help because I can't do it anymore.
Right. Right. That's me. I mean, I've been doing for myself since I was a little kid, and so every relationship I ever had was still me doing everything.
Yep.
And so what I'm doing now is I try to give my husband, he's sitting right over there. I try to give him that room and that space to do things and not get in the middle of it, not try to take control of the projects and the things and stuff. And he has no idea how difficult that is.
Oh, it's hard. It is really, really hard.
But I'm getting better and better, I think, at it. Am I getting any better? What?
I hear a poignant pause.
What?
Yeah, the bird's even laughing.
He wasn't listening. He wasn't even listening. I'm going to throw another paper clip at you, sir.
Oh, Lord. I can tell you, too, at this point in my life, I don't want anybody living with me anymore at all. So kudos to you because there's no way.
I have a house full. Think about that. I have Leo and Gabriel and Michaela and Robert and a dog. And Michaela has a dog. She has 2 chinchillas, a ferret, and a freaking snake and a freaking lizard. She thinks I'm old McDonald or something.
Well, I've just got the birds, and I was told with the hammer, because she put the hammer down, Taylor said, no more birds. I go, why? It's not like I have boatloads. I have 2. Can't help it if the lovebirds don't like each other, so they're in their own cages, which is fine. They come out and play. I've got 2 parakeets, I call them the Keats, that I took in because they were rescues. And somebody called me and said, would you take them? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. No big deal. They're just Keats, right? And these birds have made all the difference in the world to me. And I wanted to get another African gray because when I actually first met you, I had an African gray that lived to be like 23 years old that died in 2011, I think. And I haven't had one since. Now the dogs are all gone. The cats are all gone but one, and she's 18. I wanted another African gray. So I got a hold of a rescue in Michigan that's absolutely phenomenal. And my sister, who's supposed to go on the trip with me, she came up and got me and drove me 4 hours downstate to pick him up. And I had sent a video. You'll die, okay? I sent a video to Taylor after we brought him home with my friend and me going, look at the new family member. And I was calling her the next day, right? So she had been in Chicago, so they were on their way home driving. And the phone, she had answered it, but not realized I was on there. And she was looking at this video and she was screaming to David, oh my God, my mom got another African. I can't believe it. What's the matter with her? Blah, 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 blah. Screaming. I said, yeah, I did. I got another bird. And she goes, oh, Mom. I said, yeah, oh, Mom. But spiritually, these birds have literally lifted me out of a place of sorrow.
Yeah.
For all the things that I've lost in the past couple of years. I lost the wolf. I lost my brother the month after. I lost my dog of 19 years. I lost 4 cats. This was all in a period of like 4 years.
Wow.
So for me, Mango, the little boss that he is, he makes me laugh. He can come and bite me and I'm still laughing. Not that I want to be bit, but I laugh because he thinks he's such a boss. So spiritually, and I think that's a lot of people don't even realize sometimes how much their animals figure into being able to let that in. And even to let the love that they give us in, that's a big thing too, because I don't want to let more people in. Why? Because I'm tired of being hurt.
Right.
So you have to learn to open to new possibilities. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in that place of sorrow and healing forever because you're not allowing anything in.
Right, exactly. Or you're going to do like some people do and choose the wrong relationships on purpose.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They choose someone that they don't fully love or trust because they know what to expect from that kind of person. And oh, well, if I don't love them completely and I lose them, I don't lose as much as if I really truly love them and trust them.
And sometimes people stay in those type of relationships, even if it's just a friend or a family member, because what they know, even though it's not great, is better than stepping into something they don't know or understand.
That's right. Exactly. 100%.
And I feel that spirit, whether it be our ancestors or people in our family or friend line that has passed and gone to the spirit lands, or the divine energies that are above us or around, not above us, but around us, I feel that they are there to help and guide us. And I know sometimes they get super frustrated because they're pushing and we're not going in the direction because we have free choice and will. But they're bossy if you let them. They're bossy.
They are super bossy. They tell it like it is, and whether you're ready to hear it or not. And they push you in directions that you don't think you're ready to go in, but they know that's the where you need to go. And right here, right now, let's do this.
When I had the first surgery, I think I told you this, when I left 3 times. And when I walked into this building and I was going down, St. Francis was there, which kind of makes sense to me because I work with St. Francis a lot, creatures and animals. And I have since I was a kid. And he basically told me I was a bullheaded little bee and I needed to go back. And he told me that 3 times. A little different each time, but he was a boss. He wasn't letting me get away with it. He turned me around and shoved. And I'm like, hey, aren't you guys supposed to be go? You know, boss, if you don't listen, finally listen, they will keep pushing or clearing. And I don't like that either. You know how that works. Clearing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely know how that works.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness gracious. Like, I take this job, for instance, you know, at the end of the year, I was leaving one job and I had I had this job, but another job that I thought passed me up came in and it seemed to be perfect and great and wonderful. But then I got the biggest runaround for over a month by those people that I ended up saying, you know what, I don't even care anymore. They could go, you know what. And I came back here and I asked for, you know, if I could come back and do this job. And they were happy to have me. And it's been the best place ever. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. What that other bit was about, you know, I struggled to wonder of, well, why did you bring that into my life when I already had this one? And it was maybe to get rid of any doubts that I had about this one. Because I did have a couple. I thought, oh, what am I going to do with my time? I'm going to be bored all day. But I haven't. I mean, it's given me time to be more creative. And you know me.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Creative ADHD is what I call it for me, because you jump from one thing. If you, oh, yeah, you're doing that. Yeah. You know, I got bored with the rest of it. I'll go back to it later, you know.
And it was the other job that would have stifled me and kept me from being able to be as creative as I'm getting to be right now.
I look forward to that space. I am not ready to enter that space, obviously, because they're not.
I think after your trip, you're going to be filled with a whole new kind of energy. Sometimes it is about, you know, getting out away from where you are and going and experiencing some other kind of energy, and then and just doing a big dump, get rid of all the old energy and be refilled with this new kind of vital energy. And I think after your trip, you're going to be like on steroids, losing your mind, creative.
Yeah, that was like it was in January. You know, I'm sure you remember Windwalker. We had her on the show a few times. She is a fourth generation medicine woman, and she does a lot of spiritual work for healing and what have you, but she also works with water and stuff. And I spoke to her a couple months back. It was like just after I got home from having fallen, because I was supposed to, she was living in Santa Fe now. And so she was supposed to be with us there and just come from her place. And the Airbnb that I had gotten had like 7 bedrooms. It was a great place, really close where I needed to be, full kitchen, you know, everything we need, right? And she's like, I'm really bummed. I said, well, my guess is you'll be to Michigan before I'll be back to Santa Fe by the end of the year. And she says, yeah, she goes, we have to make that work, right? She says, isn't it weird how spirit just kind of pushes, because she was living in California for quite a few years. Now they pushed her back to where she began again. Like her adult life began again, and she's back in Santa Fe. And and that's one of the things she said, you have to allow spirit to show you. And you may not know why, but it's not your reason to know why. It's your reason to walk in life learning about wherever they push you for whatever reason. So that's why I look at you and I think, yeah, you know, you're high value. And sometimes we don't think we're enough, or I don't know. It's we have to realize we are enough, and we are who we are, and we have to love ourselves looking back, which I thought I kind of went over and kind of had gotten through. But sometimes we still let that seep in, and that's how I view that kind of stuff. It's like,
but you know what? Loving ourselves and caring about ourselves goes beyond just, you know, standard things, and goes to the point of we have to take care of ourselves the way we take care of others. Now, have we been doing that?
No.
Right, exactly.
I'll admit it, I haven't.
That's the thing. That's what we have to learn is how to love and care for ourselves the way we care for other people.
Okay, so that's just me sitting on my butt in the chair watching crime shows with a bird stealing my food and a
That's
cat.
what you
When I
need right
look
here,
this,
right now, in this moment.
when I look this way, the bird is at me, and then I turn this way to get get the food away from him. The cat's taking food, so that's where I'm at right now, and I just have to accept that. Come on, I didn't hit you on purpose. There's our beautiful boy.
Thank you, pretty bird.
He's a good boy. He is. You see all his pink? And you know how I hate pink, right?
Yep.
He's all pink everywhere because he's got a recessive gene. And I thought, great, Bear's got a pink bird. Yay,
Oh.
my favorite color. Anyway, well, what else you got going on?
Other than this big project, getting these books done, I mean, goodness gracious, I'm so close. My plan is to release 5 at a time. I've already got my stories for the next probably 20 books, and I just have to write them now. But so I'm going to release them in sets of 5, and they're children's books going on adventures.
Awesome. You gonna take them crystal hunting?
Not yet. That's going to be in there. The one I'm working on right now. Guess who the guides are? Hello, a raven and a wolf.
Holy crap. Remember when we used to do that show on the radio? God, we did week of shows. I mean, we did 5 to, actually, I was on 6 because I was producing a couple other ones. BTR, man. Wow. That's a blast from the past. And you ever taken looks? This is kind of interested me a little bit. I look at all these people that are coming in here and writing comments, and then I go to my social media accounts, and not my personal account, but my business page, and I look at all the people, and then when I start clicking at them, I actually have talked and spoken, and I know who these people are.
Yep.
Then what I really love, and this is going back all the way to BTR to current, is how they all are now interacting with each other.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like this network just spidered out, and we have so many amazing, talented people that we know.
And the people that it just blows me away. The people that have followed me from the beginning and still follow me. I am so grateful for those people that stick by my side, and they still want to hear me ramble on.
Look at it though as and I laugh because you're the same way I am. We're there for people, and I think that's part of why we have the people that once they come, they kind of stay with us. I had somebody yesterday send me something that says, I don't even need to read. I just want to sit and listen to you speak because it calms me. And I look at you and you're doing the same thing. It might not be necessarily a reading, but they want to hear us. And then they all interact with each other. And to me, that's a gift to me, because that means people are meeting like-minded people, and some of them are very different from each other, but they're bonding. And to me, that's what the purpose is. That's one of the purposes that we have, is to make people network with us. And no, I haven't gotten on TikTok because I just heard the wolf in my head. Tell her you're not on TikTok yet. I signed up, but I didn't do it. So I'll get to it.
You need to do it. I'm telling you what, TikTok, it's amazing how it brings like-minded people together. That's the whole thing about TikTok, and why the people that are on it love it, is because it brings you right to where you want to be, where you need to be. And it's such an educational tool. Me and my husband both, we share videos with each other every day, because it's like, oh my God, did you see this? Oh my God, look at that. And it's just so many things that you didn't know you learned through TikTok. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Have I had my head in the sand, and how did I not know these things?
I think part of the reason maybe that I'm not pushing it farther with social media a whole lot is just because of the place I'm in right now. As soon
Yeah.
as I start ramping up and having enough energy to get through a day where I
Well, I'm
can.
going to tell you right now, you're going to have to. I feel like Facebook is limited, like his shelf life is about over.
Mm-hmm.
So if
100%.
people aren't following you here, they need to follow you somewhere else. So you need to have that presence somewhere
Yep.
else that they can follow you and still put
Yep.
out your content.
Yep. They'll find me. I'm good about that. They'll find me. They know where to get us. They
Yeah,
know how
I
to find you.
believe
They stalk you.
Zuckerberg's, as much as he don't want to hear it, but his shelf life is about done and over with.
Yeah, I watch, with the meta BS that's come out, and I don't know. I got off Twitter because Twitter. I actually had a lot of people on Twitter, but I just canceled the account because to me it was one of the most hateful social things on
I
out
can't
there.
even tell you the last time I went on Twitter. It would have been years and years and years ago. My accounts are connected so that my content goes to Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't do it, and I think that's I think that's part of the issue because with how do I put it? Because I had somebody. This was an ad I had put up just before I had fallen because I have the new deck, right? I updated my deck and it's got a new box and all that stuff, and I've actually got that book half done too. So there's going to be a companion book for that, and I put an ad on just between Instagram and Facebook. And I had all these hateful trolls coming on there. Like, who do you think and it's like, wow, really? Like, wow, your life must be really boring. And it's like, I get that. But like I said, people find us for a reason. And
Yeah.
whatever that reason is, it's usually good, I think, most of the time anyway. Well, and you got it with Sean and Bex. I just kind of laugh because Sean's
Say
got
what?
Sean and Bex Reynolds, who have Ghost Dimension, who I work with.
Oh, yeah.
Sean has the attitude of, you know what, even bad publicity is good publicity because it's getting you noticed, right? And so I've kind of taken that attitude with it for the most part. I don't worry about it a whole lot. I'm just tired of having to deal with it, I guess, is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crow. Well, we have been on here almost an hour, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on again and just chatting. We all love you very much, and we'll have you back again, I'm sure. We should make it a kind of a regular thing.
We should totally do it a regular thing. Yeah.
For me, I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on, and I hope you guys have enjoyed sitting and listening to a couple old people chat. It's all good. So next time, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. And yeah, I'm not letting her read this time. Maybe next time we'll have a show and she can do readings for you guys. But for now, it's Bear and who out? Wyatt?
Wyatt.
Yeah, well, I call her Wolfbird, but Wyatt works. I love you guys. Thanks for popping in. Bye.
Have a good one.